Hello, I thought I'd update on the camp formerly known as Goonies because there's a lot of questions and uh, a lot of people wondering what happened to the place and stuff like that. So let's just do a quick full tour, okay? So here's the front canal entrance. Uh, School bus over there is Flux's school bus. You guys know Flux's from his channel. And that tree right in front is my gypsy tent where I was living, right here. So I was the direct neighbor of Goonies right here. And I actually started off as a Goonie when I first came here. On the other side, Tori over there um, lived on the other side of Goonies. So we were the direct neighbors. So Tori and I now have moved into here and are kind of the current caretakers of the place. And we got about a dozen people here on the canal. We decided to make some good of this situation. And so we're opening a community center eventually here. Um, I'm excited about that. Um, you can see there's a lot of like destruction here through I understand why they did it, but so that's our solar panel that we just got in because everything was ripped out. So we have tanks, but as you can see, all the pipes were cut. All water filtration system is down. Um, you know, we have been able to get the garden back somewhat. Um, so we got plants standing up again and things like that. We were able to save, you know, a little more than half of the plants. We had no irrigation, so everything's been kind of engineering here. Yeah, we had like no power tools. Shed is completely empty. All the solar is gone, including like the old solar. There's nothing up there. So, I mean, we basically are rebuilding the bones here. Now, a good thing is that we have this giant tank here. They weren't able to carry that with them in the shipping container, so it stayed. Um, I was able to rig these faucets up to work again, so I just like stuffed them with styrofoam and blocked off the places where they cut it, reconnected some stuff, and now we have a gravity fed water system here. The next step is going to be to replace a water filtration system here, and I'm running one of these hoses out into the public. So the result of that is going to be a public spigot open to the whole slabs with fresh drinking water, filtered water. You don't have to come up, you don't have to knock on the door, you don't have to say hello, you don't have to pay for it. We're gonna use about three of those tanks plus the big one to have about 1,000 gallons of water available on demand. That'll save a lot of people money and hopefully, make some good come of the mess that we inherited here. Um, there's Flux all sexy in the sun and sweating. um, right. So as far as the animals, all the dogs are okay. We already had a bunch of dogs. We were already all raising Sky and Minnie and Sadie as a community. So they're still home. They're still happy. Um, we have two geese and a duck left to rehome. On that side, we were able to rehome all of the chickens and the female duck. We were able to rehome the two pigs who now live at the Ponderosa, and they have a beautiful pen, and they're very happy there. The pen's actually probably twice the size of this one. So uh, this is the old pig pen, the old chicken coop. Um, So the dogs are okay, the cats are okay. You know, this was hard at first because for a while there, we were dragging buckets from the canal to water the pigs, which take an immense amount of water, and the sheep and the ducks, and it was just a lot of hard work. Um, so if anybody thinks this is some kind of prize, I was very happy in my tree next door. And this is a lot of responsibility, but you know, we didn't want to watch it burn. We didn't want to watch it looted. Not that there's much to loot left because, and I don't blame the sponsor, you know, for this whatsoever. I mean, he put a ton of money in here, and you know, he had to recoup his investment. The problem is, you know, they didn't know what was what, so they kind of took some useless stuff like our water pumps and hoses and things that will probably never be used again, but would be vital here. Um, that's fine though. I was able to recover two small bilge pump 12 volts. Um, so we're gonna, I'm testing everything out here. So solar panel goes to charge controller, goes to battery, and I was testing out that bilge pump, which works perfectly fine. I have two of those. So what the plan is to have a continual pumping. Basically, we pump the canal water into this giant 600 or whatever gallon tank, and we pump them up to the towers so that we could have gravity to all the faucets in the camp. Two or three towers here. One of them will be intercepted by a reverse osmosis UV filter, and that will be to the public spigot and for our drinking water. uh, Before I'm gonna reinstall the solar up there. We're getting our own panels, and people are pitching in a neighborhood and stuff. I mean, they will, but they'll be more than enough. I'm actually not a huge power hog. So yeah, we don't have much left in the shed here. I'm actually gonna then about drama. I like to do tutorials and building things and um, yeah. So you won't see a lot of like me sitting around. I love pot, but it's not interesting enough to be the subject of a video for me. Got the greenhouse out there. We got the hole. So we're gonna dig this out a little more. Tori's a beekeeper. She has hundreds of bee boxes. This is a perfect environment for those bees. So we're gonna make this into a bee colony, and we're gonna use that which you could eat as a green superfood, or you could put it in your gas tank and beer. We have rehomed all the chickens for now. We still have two turkeys. So eventually we're going to make that into a dog because you know, we like run a little part-time dog rescue out here. Um, and we do want chickens again, but we need to wait until we're ready for them. All these guys are healthy and happy, right, guys? You're all healthy and happy. They get water every day, even when I have to go drag 5 gallons at a time out of the canal. We got another baby on the way. Jolie's getting bigger. So we will have 6 sheep soon. And we're trying to rehome them. We're trying to actually find the farmers in the area, like Farmer Henry. So if anybody knows how to contact those people, let us stay, stuff like that. And then there's Caveman's Yurt way on the end, and currently Aoka has been staying there and hooking it up. So one shaman to another shaman has inherited the yurt down there. Yeah, so that's it. The place is a mess. On our agenda for the next 48 hours is to clean all this up, and but we have a lot of work to do. It's several months. Um, my priorities right now are getting that water to the thirsty people around here. That was one of my original goals. It never happened here for whatever reason. Um, you know, I have the pipe in the ground. Um, Here, I'll show you the other end. So you see that pipe there? I'm going to intercept this pipe, our freshwater tank. I love the idea that anybody could come down here with a car or a truck or a wagon or even just an empty gallon jug, put a public spigot right out here and just drink. You know, it doesn't cost us anything except the labor and the initial setup of the system. I think I see way too many people walking that road from Slab City to Nyland, which is over 2 miles, depending where you are in the slabs, and then paying 40 cents a gallon of water, and then dragging it all the way back. Um, and there's also a lot of thirsty people in the slabs. Like every time pretty much I go into the slabs, I bring water with me because someone's always going to ask me. Um, I'm going to see somebody laying there on the floor, and I'm like, I want to be able to give them water without endangering myself. So I think this is a pretty good solution to that. That's the bus that was bought by a buyer a few weeks ago before we took this right there with that pipe. Extend that out, maybe 15 feet, and we'll have a public spigot outside of the camp. Now, I know a lot of people are antisocial here, and a lot of people come to the slabs to be alone, and they won't necessarily come up and say hi and knock on the door. They'll rather be thirsty. But at least in this situation, you don't have to talk to anybody to survive. So that's Flux's bike, beautiful 29-incher, which I've been riding a lot. Awesome bike. Thank God no one got hurt with that because that thing collapsed. Yeah. I think that's it anyway. It's under new stewardship here. We have a list of like 20 names for the place, and everybody's pitching in. And most of this camp, at least half of it, this whole section, the whole garden section, that whole front section is going to be public space. I kind of want to model it after some of the more successful camps, like the library and East Jesus and places like that. And even Salvation Mountain, where they have like a public area and a private area. I think that's a really good solution. Um, that way people can have use of this, and it could be part of the community rather than being locked up. Also, speaking of locked up, this is one thing I didn't agree with, and this is one of the like top 5 reasons why I moved next door and didn't stay on the Goonies property to live, was these locks. They were all padlocked here. This, the cooler, the shed. I understand the need to have some security, so I'm okay with that. But not like the way it just feels like cut off. You know what I mean? Like this is supposed to be a community thing. That doesn't mean everybody go in there and do what you want, but the locks made it even for your friendly people not able to access the resource. And you know, people who are here all the time or contribute to the camp, or people who live on the camp or next door to the camp or in Shepherd's Tree House or whatever, they'll have the combination. And that way, you know, not everyone has it, but, you know, someone can always go in there and